Viewers, today we are discussing fear of coronavirus and remedies for fear in perspective of global experiences of pandemics. This video is being prepared on behalf of my request of some of my colleagues as they received certain cases in the OPDs that they were just presenting like symptoms of psychogenic asthma and SOBs, despite the fact that their chest was very clear. So amongst our youngster, you see this problem is very high. So let we proceed. That what is fear? You know, there are different similar names of fear. So when we fear in fact tell us what is danger. So synonymous, the similar name that may represent fright, horror, alarm, panic, agitation, dread, so many other words as you can see here, unrest, and of course, doubt. Uh, Fear is in fact that you want to protect yourself, and this is a natural response. But when a natural response is exceeding the body's own response, then it can create problems. So the power of fear with response is usually either biochemical or it is emotional. It is divided into these two portions. Biochemical is usually universal and it is like just for fight and flight mechanism that we do have autonomic nervous system. But in case of this response is individual. Why individual? Because every individual is having different type of personality, and different type of personality behaves differently because they have different attitudes. Thus, the emotional response varies amongst the different person or from person to person. How to understand different types of person and individual, that you can find this in my other videos available in my YouTube websites. But now from this slide, we just came to know that just in case of fear, how the body responds. There is the biochemical and the emotional, and it is the emotional response that if we have been able so much emotionally intelligent to deal with the people of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, then we can handle the situation. Now, is fear good or bad? So fear guides us for, as I told you, the fight and flight response, and it keeps us alert for the preparedness. This is very important. In developed countries, there is preparedness guidance for the guide for the pandemic. However, we are experiencing in this modern world for the first time. I mean, since the creation of Pakistan. So fear can impair what you can say that memory, the damages to certain brain, and of course it cannot regulate the response in case of chronic exposure. What is important? Important is that negative side of fear is when it holds you it's back from doing something positive. So fear, if fear is going to encompass your body, is going to supersede your natural response, then it can create certain neurological disorder like anxiety, neurosis, and other serious disorder. Thus, it is important to understand. So in this particular Indian pandemic situation, the Prime Minister's speech at regular intervals to the nation is very good, and of course they are going to guide the executive, to lead the executive and different institutions as well. It is very important that in our country, usually people are blaming the federal government. But let me carry you to one of the statement of Secretary of Health of the Baltimore State. You see, who said that any community fails to prepare and expects the federal government will come to the rescue is tragically wrong. So it's a team effort, it's a combined effort, and the provinces shall not merely look to the federal government. I can see so many leaders that they are going to blame the federal government. This is another time to make politics. Now, having said that, there are certain studies that chronic stress can adversely affect the immune system as well, as chronic stress have a negative impact on the memory as well as on the feeling of the stress, having a cardiovascular effects like MI, strokes, and you can say in long-term effect have a negative effect on the mood, and that can impair the immune response as well. So this is a very technical point to understand, because this is pandemic is usually a chronic case. It takes months to get recovered, and the people are persistently under stress, and this fear and stress can create different neurological disorders amongst the general population. So we recommend patient counseling. This is important either through the telemedicine or the telepharmacy or the drug information center. But unfortunately, in Pakistan, there is no drug information center. The government, this is the right time that the government should take care, should go for the establishment of drug information center and involving the involvement of pharmacists, that they have quality graduate pharmacists having MPhil PhD degree or informed degrees, as it is in technologically advanced countries like UK and USA. Important thing is that we must have a control on the media. This is the probably unfortunate of Pakistan, that media produce so much what you can say, give heightness to an issue which sometimes is not really an issue. It's not the matter of coronavirus, but in certain cases, because the information are transferred in a way, in not an acceptable way, I can say like that. So awareness program should be asked from the media, and there should be properly a schedule for each channels, that all channels shall not run the program simultaneously, so that the people of Pakistan shall have maximum exposure to the awareness program. So the government should come up with a directive to the media, to not to prepare, not to have a program on prime time simultaneously. They should give each channel. This is an emergency situation, so they should give each channel separate timing, you see, which should be publicly notified. The second thing is that there should be a necessary legislation to stop Facebook in the night. Facebook should be closed in the night. Everyone has different perspective. Why it is to be closed in the night? Because it's going to disturb the sleep, and once the sleep is disturbed, you see, it is going to disturb the immune response. So disturbing immune response mean that we are going to create or exaggerate our problem. This is my personal view as a health professional, because you can see that what Professor Dr. Tahir Shamsi said, and what the FDA is going, convalescent sera, person who have been recovered from the having a pre-infection of this COVID, and they are having a what you can say. So convalescent sera mean that the body has synthesized the antibodies against this novel COVID virus. So it means if our population go to sleep in time, their immune system will be strong. This is a technical point, and the government should take a notice of this. Then let me go carry you to some statistic, and statistics says that of the total respiratory infection, you see, rhinoviruses sometimes that is 50% of the flu cases and 15% of the corona cases. And remember, detailed references are available in my previous lecture. So what is important to understand is that the RT-PCR is not so much sensitive, because it gives you 80% sensitivity, and there is chances that 20% cases may be escaped, and they may circulate in the society. So what is important? Important is the right time for the selection of what you can say the sample, and that is the second week where the viral load is important. The best thing is that these infections are self-limiting, but the worst thing is that a single case can cause pandemic. And now if a single case can cause pandemic, then we should take a notice of this. Why it is, if it is going to cause a pandemic, especially the non-communicable diseases like diabetes mellitus, then the chronic bronchitis, then the COPDs and the asthma. These patients are at much more risk, and these patients can go on to complications. So what is important? Important is to increase awareness among these particular type of patients, and all these things is through the sources transmit to the sources of transmission are the schools, which the government has already closed, the necessary measures, and then the family members. This area still needs important attention of the government, because I can see that the students, the guys are going roaming hither and thither, though the schools are closed. So we appreciate the current about strict lockdown for next 2 weeks from the government of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Important is, this is a very important point, that the season, peak season for this is late fall, winter, or spring, and perhaps we are now here, you see, and this goes into the April season, late April. So, inshallah, at the end of April, this pandemic, this situation will be controlled, provided we contribute with the government. So, solution to finish this fear is we have to celebrate the success. The media should highlight that this number of patients have been recovered. So recovery must be celebrated, and we should thank God. Remember, this is important. We are already creating so much hype in the spike in the media that we are not going to celebrate this point. Second is that we should cooperate with the executives, the policemen, and of course the security forces and the government and all the healthcare professionals, because they are all out in the field for our health, and we are in our home. They are working for putting their lives in dangers. And then the season is important. Seasonal impact is important. So the coronavirus or rhinovirus are usually to finish at the end of April. So there are certain questions that how long this situation sustain. But remember, a pandemic can go up to 2 years as well. But this is followed by, if we control it, there may be a single endemic. A single case can cause pandemic. So it will first then goes to endemic in Hodana first in Pakistan. So the message is that we should have a strict control. We should have a deep sleep. As I refer to that, why there should be we should close Facebook in the night, because I can see the guys are awake until morning, and then they go on to this, and in afternoon they go. So what is important? Let our society shall have a deep sleep. There is an inverse relationship between the sleep and the strength of the immune system. Make evolutions for prayer. Alhamdulillah, we are Muslim, and making evolution, then you're making gargles and you put water in your nostrils and make gargles. So these are very important, because if you are going to perform 5 times a day, making evolution mean that you are, even if you are exposed to, then the virus is accumulating in your nasopharynx. So you are going to get rid of all these things, and so the reduction in the viral load is there. What is important? This is an opportunity for this Pakistani nation to change their habits and habitats, and let me pray God that we shall be given forgiveness. In summary, stay at home, please, till the end of April, or as the government of Pakistan advise, and then support and cooperate with policemen, executives, healthcare staffs. Remember, a single case can cause endemic in local area or pandemic again. So I request, please stay at home and cooperate with government. For detailed references and detailed lecture for the healthcare professional, that is available on my this website and link.